Peach deserved better. There's been a brief history of Princess Peach games, and by brief, I mean like one. At least until now. And honestly, the amount of advertising they gave that first one amounted to you knew it existed because you saw it on this shelf at GameStop. I remember giving the box a brief once-over before moving on because it looked like it was aimed at little kids. And not in that family-friendly way many Nintendo games are, where they still manage to be fun for adults with genuine challenges if you want to get those 100%, but more in that kids-only kind of way, with little to no challenge and anyone over 5 would be wasting their time. I don't know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should finally check it out. Or maybe I should just get on with it and review this fucking thing. Showtime, bitches! And, At first, my fears of a kids-only game felt sadly justified. You'll notice early on there isn't much of a challenge. That being said, the first level or two can trick you into thinking the game is just meant for little kids, and it fortunately stops feeling like that after the first few levels. But still never gets as challenging as virtually all other first-party Nintendo characters titles do outside of their breezy modes. That doesn't mean it gets as easy as breezy after those first 2 levels, but it's stuck in a middle ground that frankly could and should have gone a little harder. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'll say it again, kids don't get enough credit. I was tasked with this, and this, and this when I was 4 years old, same as all the other 4-year-olds I knew, and we did alright.
Awesome! Intense!
The shtick here is Peach's different costumes, each with their own unique abilities, kinda like Kirby. As far as video game shtick goes, it's good shtick.
Showtime.
Each level is a different play, and each costume shows different styles of play. Showing how she can wall jump, how she can ice skate, how she can cowgirl, how she can... I'm not getting cancelled over this joke. There's a decent range of stuff to do that helps with the relatively slow and often text-interrupted gameplay from feeling like it's getting too repetitive. The superhero levels are more action-oriented, the detective levels are more considered and slow, and the cooking levels are the fucking cooking levels. Look, when it's a 30-second minigame in Mario Party and there's 4 of you talking shit and laughing, that's an okay 30 seconds. When it's a whole level, it feels less party and more Squid Game.
Peachy.
One of the unfortunate oversimplifications that does appear to be oriented at a younger audience is the controls, more specifically the buttons, in that for the most part, you'll only need 2 buttons. There isn't even a run button, you just push forward at medium speed. There are many good platformers and puzzle games that only use 2 buttons, but they tend to go full platformer or full puzzle. Even if they share some elements, they lean hard into one. This doesn't lean hard into anything. The platforming, especially at 30 FPS, never gets too close to anything requiring twitch responses. And the puzzles never get brainy enough to rival anything close to Toad. It's a giant middle ground. Like a spider with 1 foot in each camp. And speaking of frame rate, the rest of the tech in general feels similarly undercooked. The whole thing has a noticeable AA quality that seems out of place coming from Nintendo. Even at 30 FPS, the frame rate is never stable, especially during load times when it turns into a GIF from the 90s. And even those load times feel like, well, the 90s. Even when going from one small hub world floor to another. How? You're barely loading anything. How? These are fucking cartridges! The resolution is clearly upscaled and nowhere near a native 1080. Like, what the hell is this? Didn't we just play Mario RPG, which looked great, was a crisp 1080, and ran at a buttery smooth 60 FPS, save for a few stutters in select locations? What happened? Peach deserved better! I know it's not a first-party Nintendo dev team, but neither was Mario RPG Remake. The devs here are good feel, and while you might not have heard of them, there's a good chance you've played some of their games. While they do make educational games, they also made legit stuff, like Kirby's Epic Yarn, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Crafted World. Better looking games, with better frame rates, often on older hardware. So how did this happen? Peach deserved better!
Thank you.
There's some bare-bones extras like a clothing shop with some color and stencil unlocks, but it affects nothing. Same for the endgame shop, which also affects nothing. Sure, the skins in Fortnite didn't really affect anything, but like I said before, it's stupid shit, sure, but if you make me care about a game, I'll care about the stupid shit in the game. Something tells me I'll care more about the costume unlocks and Stellar Blade. Oh, god damn it, fucking hell!
Come on!
I guess Sony didn't want me to review this one. Ugh. Refunded, without ever starting it. Should've never moved your headquarters to the US, hashtag fuck you, Sony. What is this? Is this because I'm standing next to the dancing guy? What the fuck is this Elaine shit? I'm supposed to be catching robbers in a museum while I'm literally robbing the museum. Oh well, video game rules. Smash the pot, steal the shit, no one cares. And why can't Princess Peach talk? One-word expressions and the rest is all text.
Yes! Aha! That's Peachy!
She even talked in Mario 64, and that was on an 8-megabyte cartridge.
Yours truly, Princess Toadstool.
Let Peach talk. Anya, help me out.
We have a long journey ahead of us, Mustache.
Let her use her mount for something other than this, you pervert.
Oh, so many. I was not good at it.
I know I may sound negative, but this isn't a bad game. It just isn't particularly good either. It does lean on the easier side, but there are still 100% with more actual challenge to them if you're so inclined. You can have fun. It's just AA fun at AAA prices. And that's kinda... meh. AAA Nintendo fun is why video games exist. It's why the industry came back after the crash of '83. It's why you're willing to spend $60, and when you think you're gonna get it, and you don't, it's disappointing. And when I say $60, I mean until the end of time. Games on other consoles get repriced and discounted 5 minutes after launch. This is a Nintendo exclusive. It will always be $60. $60 today, $60 tomorrow, $60 forever. One silver lining was the ending. The ending was pretty epic. Obviously, I'm not going to show you and spoil it, but it was kind of the opposite of Mario Wonder, where the whole game was AAA game candy, but the final boss and end was kind of weak. After that is the end game, with some added collectibles giving you an excuse to polish off those 100%. But do you want to? Do I want to? I mean, I could keep playing. But Final Fantasy XVI has been sitting on my PlayStation for 4 months and I haven't touched it. So, do I keep playing this? Or do I'm playing Final Fantasy. Peach deserved better. Michelle Yeoh Award. Because Michelle deserves better! Ass-kicking, multiverse-traveling, legend in the flesh, Michelle fucking Yeoh! And what do we put her in? Blood Origin? Are you fucking kidding me? Transformers? Paws of Fury? The Abrams vs. Star Trek? That isn't really even that, it's a third timeline? What did you do to the Klingons? What the fuck is that? Fuck you, Les Moonves, you piece of shit! You did this, I'm glad you got fired, fuck you! What was I talking about? Michelle deserves better.
What the mother father cocker spaniel's going on here?